Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we're going to be talking about something a little more on the heavier side. And I'm excited about it because it needs to be talked about. And so, yeah, and it's about the devil, the purpose of the devil, and all these things that are umbrellaed under this definition of who the opponent is and all of these things. Learning how to not be a victim anymore and taking your power back and living life from a more empowered place. Hi, my name is Demi. I love all things personal development. Is something that I eat, sleep, and breathe, and let's get into it. So, today I have that some things that I realized was the devil has a very interesting purpose, a purpose that I didn't realize. Um and I'm not talking about the psychotic deep end of things when I talk about the devil. I'm talking about the small mundane things. Like, you cut your finger, you got into a car accident, you lost something, you lost your job, you lost, anything to do with loss and things of that nature. And the purpose behind it that I realized that I was not seeing. And so I'm just sharing my personal opinion and my experience on this journey of being a lifelong learner. And so what I realized is that the devil makes me stronger. And I realized if it wasn't for the opponent of the struggles or different things in my life, I wouldn't be this strong. I would actually be very weak if I didn't go through anything, if life was very easy. I imagine a life that, you grow up, you didn't really go through anything, your life was just kind of easy. And I could imagine if my life was like that, I would not do so well because I have no resilience. I have no resilience towards anything in life. And when you haven't learned how to bounce back from things, when you haven't learned how to move forward, you can kind of stay in this slump. And that slump is what people would call, oh, that's just the devil, or oh, that's just, and it's just a mental switch that you need to make. And if you haven't been through anything, it's going to be 10 times harder for you simply because you haven't been through anything. So it's kind of like when you first day starting to lift weights, it's gonna be pretty hard for someone who has never lifted anything. Imagine a kid, a baby, a teenager who's never really lifted anything, and just imagine how weak they are because they simply didn't have to lift things because their parents lifted for them and everyone did everything else for them. And so without that process of going through different things in life, I realized it's actually very hard for me to be a completely broken person because I've been through some things that broke me as a teenager and a young adult and things, and I was able to overcome that and move on with my life. And because of that, I'm able to bounce back from harsher things that may be happening to me that I may not understand. And I look at the devil as a teacher. The devil has taught me a lot. The devil has taught me how he operates, how the opponent operates, and the different ways in which, the things can happen. Like, for instance, it could be something small like you didn't get any sleep. And so you decided to choose the side of the devil and talk about and whine about and complain about you not getting sleep to your coworkers, to your family, or whatever. And that is your entire identity for the entire day. And I realized when I would say, oh, I'm so tired, I would become even more tired. But realizing that that's how the devil works. So the days that I wake up tired, since I've learned how the devil works, I listen to a playlist that makes me feel really good every single morning. And if I don't listen to it, or if something weird happens to where I'm not listening to it, my brain instantly is like, I didn't listen to my playlist. That was my safeguard. The devil made me sharper in my routine. And I think that's very important because when you know how the devil operates, you can beat him at his own game, but also realize that because he was sent to make us stronger, there's going to be even bigger things that happen, and even bigger things that happen, and even bigger things that happen. So you have to keep learning, because the devil is going to study what you study. He's going to study you, so you have to study them. And when you realize these patterns, and if you're a lifelong learner like me, this becomes very easy and very apparent, and you simply can't unsee it. And so, yeah. Um, yeah, so I put on my notes that the devil is a worthy opponent. And it's a worthy opponent because it made me stronger as a person. But learning how it operates and knowing there's different levels, it's almost like a video game. Like, there's different levels, and it gets harder and harder and harder each time. And it could also be like lifting weights. When you're done lifting the 2-pound weights, you're going to move to the 5-pound weights, and then the 7-pound weights, the 8, 10, 15, 20, and you can move up and up and up and up and up. But throughout the lifting of the weights, you can use different strategies. Like maybe you'll only do 3 pumps this time versus 5 pumps, or, and then your muscles grow, and then so many things happen. But there is growth in that process, but there also is a challenge. So I would say I look at it more of like we're playing a game, and there's the game, and then there are challenges within it that we may not understand, but we have to go through them to build the resilience and the mental strength, the physical strength. It's best to be a very well-rounded individual because if you're not, you can fall into just being a victim and woe is me, and just like becoming this person of everything's happening to me. But when I shifted my mind to the fact that life is happening for me, no matter what has happened, it gave me strength. It gave me my power back. And so, yeah. And if the devil didn't make me lose my job, I wouldn't be posting right now. I wouldn't be able to help the people that I am helping on my page. I wouldn't be able to support my YouTube subscribers. there is so many things that if I didn't post on this page, like I yeah, if things did not happen, I would not be able to be up here on my page to post. And if I took it as, me losing something, as, oh no, woe is me, nothing's good for me, and blah, blah, just thinking in a downward spiral, it would have led to this not even being a thing. But because I've been through a lot in life and I've been through this thing that has happened to me, it is so easy for me to have the mindset of, well, maybe that's not what I'm meant to do right now. Maybe it's like a GPS. Maybe I'm being rerouted for something better. And that's okay. And like getting out of the emotions of it, because that's not really going to help you stick through it at all. And so, yeah. But yeah, blame the dynamic. Don't blame the devil. What I realized is when you say nothing but the devil, that's giving power to the opponent. Why would you want to do that? I don't know. Maybe we just copy other people because that is what, people do over the years. They're like, oh, that's nothing but the devil. And it's like, you just gave the devil all of your power in that moment. Because you could have said something positive. You could have said, oh, well, maybe, like, say you lost your keys and you just blame the devil. Well, now you can't drive, so you just gave him all your power and you basically just gave up the fight without even fighting. It is just that doesn't work for me. And so I'm going to share what did work for me. I stopped using words like that, and I've never really used those words now that I think about it. But a lot of people that I know, they use it, and I'm just like, yeah, sure. Of course, respect and accept the opinions of others because that is just simply how they think and that is where they are. And I fully accept that. And where I am right now is in a place where if I lose my keys, I go look for my keys. Or if I spilt something on my shirt, I'm not blaming it on the devil. I'm just going to go find another shirt. Why would I praise the devil and saying, oh, yeah, you defeated me. I got coffee on my shirt? Like, that comes from a very disempowered place, and you just shift to the positive. You spilled something on your shirt. Okay, great. Maybe you can go find a new fabulous shirt that you like. Or maybe you can find an even better outfit. Maybe it wasn't meant for you to wear that outfit today. Let's go find another one. Um just like simple easy things that you can think of. But yeah, this is what I've realized, and this is what has been given to me to share because I know this could help someone. And a lot of people are stuck being the victim and blaming the devil and not blaming the dynamic and accepting the dynamic that challenges will come. When I decided to accept that challenges will come into my life no matter how great it gets, I became the woman who now has playlists that make me feel great and amazing every morning. I'm the type of person who, I do my makeup every day. I look great every day. I wear clothes that make me feel good every day. I, I drink my water. I take my vitamins. I take care of myself every single day. I really try my best to not even give the devil a chance because I am aware of the dynamic of the opponent. I'm aware of its purpose to make me stronger. So I become stronger. And yes, there are going to be times where, you're like, oh, snap, I didn't think of that. But the thing is, when something new comes up, when a new challenge comes up, it gives you a chance to be sharper. And so, yeah. And you can use this with almost any aspect in life. I don't care how dark it is, because that is just how resilient I've made my mind. And when you can become that resilient, you really can endure almost anything and be unfazed by it because you know the purpose of it. And once you know the purpose of it, you can then become more purposeful on the way I live my life. I became more purposeful in that way, which is all the different routines that I have in my life. So therefore, there is no space for the challenge to come. Well, the many old challenges. So, yeah. But you have to let go to gain things. And that goes with the same thing as saying, letting go the old habit of blaming the devil and shifting to, okay, well, what can I do to make this situation better for me? How can this situation be positive? How can I make this work for me and not against me? How can I shift my mind in this moment because I feel sad? Like little things like that make a huge difference. When I realize that I'm feeling off, I go to my list. I go to my list of things and I just choose one and then I feel good again. And then you do it over and over and over. Every single time you can catch yourself. But it makes you sharper and sharper and sharper. But being stuck and accepting it, at that point, you're choosing it because you're giving the opponent all of your power, all of it. And so I had to stop doing that because I realized I was getting in my own way. It wasn't even the devil, it was just me not aware of the dynamic that is happening and that I actually have control to change it. And I know and accept that everyone isn't like this and everyone is the way they are. And that's okay because everyone is just taking it one step at a time. And, don't be hard on yourself. You don't have to be perfect today. It is a process. But when I say you create a process for yourself for any given situation and you practice that daily, no matter who is watching, you can become. I know I became more resilient for sure because anything could happen and the world is not ending. I know how to ask for help. I know where I can receive the help that I need no matter where I go through. And it is really that simple. And just trusting the process. It has been very, very powerful. So, yeah. But, yeah. And I know a lot of people talk about, your awareness this, be aware of that, and aware of this. And so I just want to clear the air and say you have to go through things to become more aware. And I feel like I haven't really seen anyone speak about this. And for me, my level of awareness of certain things did not become visible to me because I haven't been through said things. And so, for instance, I used to be a teacher. Before I was a teacher, I didn't know anything about children, kids, parent dynamics, all of these things, disability, all of these different things that come with having a kid and kids with disabilities and all of these different things and umbrellas and words and names and how to deal with children, speak around children, how you're supposed to be around children. And that increased my level of awareness around parenthood, children with disabilities, and so many other things, the laws around it, so many things, to where it has shifted me as a person, how I am around children, how I speak to children, and my level of care for children was, the bar was risen. And it was because it was almost like taking like a parenting class, like when you didn't take a parenting class. And, like I said in my last video, education is very, very important, because once you become educated on something, it increases your awareness level. So say if you learn about, I don't know, nutrition, and you learn the healthy things to eat and not eat, you're more likely going to be a person who has an increased level of awareness of health and nutrition and healthy eating habits and all of the things. And if you choose to, you can apply it to your life or help other people with it in their life. And so that is what increasing your awareness looks like. And you can use this in any industry, in any, if you want to increase your awareness around mental health, study different subjects, topics, therapies around therapy. Just dive deep into it, research it, go back to school for it. Like, there's so many ways that you can like raise your awareness level. And yeah, college is definitely a way to raise your awareness level in so many ways. It expands you in a way that it's just so organized in a way that it gives you no option to lose or miss out on anything, because it kind of covers everything that you kind of need to know for real life things. And there are people there and situations there that are going to teach you the different things that can happen in real life without you having to necessarily go through it. So it's kind of like a trial training wheel to real life way of life before being thrown out to the wolves, versus you just being thrown out into the wolves and you're not going to college and getting the experiences and stuff like that. So yeah, and then your outlook determines your outcome. Like I said before, you could go through something and you could take it in a bad way, or you could take it in a good way. It is really up to you how you want your life to pan out. I've noticed life and things have worked out for me miraculously when I went towards the good versus the bad 80% of the time. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be perfect all the time. That's not what I'm saying. For me, what clicked for me was, say if I, scrape my finger, I am not going to act like it's the end of the world and that's the worst thing that happens to me, and then spread it and talk about it to everyone if I know that I'm okay and it was just a little scrape. Taking it the bad way would be, passing all that to everyone else, or whatever drama happened at work or in the world or whatever. When you're just passing that on, you're keeping that bad stuff around your mind, and then you're just passing it to other people. That's another way the opponent operates too. If something bad happens, or if something unfortunate happens to someone and they pass it to you, you don't have to react to it. You can just be like, oh, interesting. Or you could just be like, oh, okay. If you don't want to accept it. into your life. Now, if you want to accept into your life, go ahead and entertain it. You're going to get the whole thing, the whole shebang, and you're going to be stuck in this thing with them. I don't recommend that. It's very draining. Yeah. And so, yeah. So, thank you to all my wonderful followers for supporting me on my page and liking my videos. Thank you to everyone who does watch my videos and hasn't subscribed yet. I still appreciate you. Um, and yeah, definitely check out my snail mail on my page. And if you guys haven't already, like, share, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you guys know when another video drops. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.